ahead. Alright, so we're going to read Who Needs Donuts? Sam lived with his family in a nice house. He had a big yard and lots of friends. There's all of his friends. But he wanted donuts. Not just a few, but hundreds and thousands and millions. More donuts than his mother and father could ever buy him. Finally, one day, he hopped on his tricycle and rode away to a big city to look for donuts. Oh boy, said Sam. He climbed into Mr. Bickford's wagon and off they went. As they rolled through the streets, they passed a sad old woman sitting on the doorstep. Who needs donuts, she shouted. That's right, who needs donuts when you've got love? Ooh, she looks creepy. A few minutes later, they stopped in front of a huge warehouse. Mr. Bickford unlocked the door, and Sam walked into the darkness. When the lights went on, he saw more donuts than he had ever imagined there could be. While Mr. Bickford emptied the wagon, Sam ate and played in the donuts. Then they went collecting. Mr. Bickford knew all the best places to look, and Sam learned his job very fast. Abraham Lincoln. Oh. Together they collected so many donuts that their wagon broke down. Sam went looking for a telephone to call a repairman, but every phone he saw was out of order. At last he found a woman with a big wagon full of pretzels. Her name was Pretzel Annie, and she had a telephone with a direct line to a wagon repairman. While Sam helped the repairman fix the wagon, something wonderful was happening between Mr. Bickford and Pretzel Annie. From the first moment they saw each other, they fell in love. By the time the wagon was fixed, they had decided to get married and open a pretzel store. Mr. Bickford gave Sam the wagon and all of the donuts in it. Don't you want to collect donuts anymore, said Sam. Who needs donuts, said Mr. Bickford, and he and Pretzel Annie ran off together. A moment later, the sad old woman came walking by. That's right, she said. Who needs donuts when you've got love? Suddenly, Sam found himself all alone in the big city with a wagon full of donuts. He took a bite of one, but he was too full to eat it, and the idea of collecting more didn't seem like any fun without Mr. Bickford. What am I going to do with all these donuts? He asked himself as he trudged down the street. Meanwhile, the sad old woman had gone home to her tiny room in the basement of a coffee factory, where she lay down for her afternoon nap. She didn't get much sleep, however, because at that moment a wild bull was escaping from the pet shop next door. It charged into the coffee factory, butted a hole in a giant vat of coffee, and ran away. The coffee poured out all over the floor, down a stairway, and into the basement. When the old woman woke up, she found herself over her head in a room full of lukewarm coffee. Help! Save me! She cried. I can't swim! Sam heard her screams, but he couldn't swim either, so he had to think fast. He pulled the donut wagon over to the window. Who needs donuts? She cried the old woman. You do, said Sam. He tilted the wagon and poured all of the donuts into the basement. The donuts soaked up the coffee, leaving the old woman sitting in a shallow puddle. You and your donuts have saved my life, she said. How can I ever repay you? She offered him her meager life savings to buy more donuts, but Sam refused. Who needs donuts, he said. I've got love. He said goodbye, hopped on his tricycle, and rode home. And that's it. Did you guys like it? Mm-hmm. Was it super fun? What'd you guys like about it? Does it make you want donuts now?
No.
Yes.
I'm kind of full.
Yes.
So.
All right. That's all I got.